Welcome. I'm here to announce the winner of the Fen Ditton Gallery Contemporary Printmaking Prize 2021. I'm just waiting for the winner to jump onto this call and we will be able to do the announcement and it will be lovely to have a chat to them and find out a bit more about the work as well. Hi, Stefan. Welcome and congratulations. You are the winner of the Fen Ditton Gallery Contemporary Printmaking Prize. So how do you feel about that?
Yeah, thank you so much. But it's amazing. Thank you so much again. But I just want to say thank you so much for setting up the Contemporary Printmaking Prize as a whole, because it's been a difficult time for the arts, and let alone for galleries like yourself.
Yeah.
It's just great to see things on a new normal and just excited for the private viewing.
Yeah, exactly. So that would be really fun. Yeah, I think it's kind of, I think we spoke the other day when you dropped the work off. I think it's been really good timing in a way, well, for us to actually release it to the artists, because everyone's now really keen to actually get out and about and show their work again. But from a kind of visitor point of view, hopefully it will be just the right time, because I mean, obviously this week is the launch of reopening for a lot of small business, well, for a lot of businesses and small businesses in particular. It's a really important week, so we're just hoping we'll have streams and streams of visitors.
I'm sure you guys will.
Yeah, hopefully.
It's just nice to see. Yeah,
nice to see things in real life. Yeah,
that's the thing.
And I think that's what the judges, when they did the overall judging, was they were very very concerned that they wanted to make a final decision when they had the works in place. And also it was amazing to have the works arrive, and having seen things on a screen, to kind of have no idea really of scale, or I mean, we were very lucky that actually the works that arrived were, as we kind of expected. We could have had a few sort of few different ones, but anyway, we're really pleased that you are the winner, and the judges were incredibly impressed at your use of lines and the kind of fluid and expressive movement that you were able to create with quite a linear form. So woodcuts is quite a challenging printmaking technique. So can you tell us a bit about how you started with printmaking and this woodcut in particular?
Yeah, so it was, to be honest, I haven't really had experience as being a printmaker, to be honest, because I've done, when I was at the drawing school, maybe a bit of etching or hard ground etching, and then lino cutting when I was in secondary school. But it was during the lockdown that I really started to try something new and something that I was inexperienced in. And I just kind of fell in love with it, to be honest. It was a weird obsessive, just cutting into MDF, because that's what I had laying around. And I think it was that inexperience of not knowing what I was doing that kind of allowed me to explore what printmaking is to me.
Yeah,
that's how I saw it, at least.
Well, yeah, that's wonderful, and it certainly is a wonderful piece. So can you tell us about the actual work? So what was your inspiration? I mean, I know that there's very much a running theme of coronavirus within sort of a body of work that you've created quite recently, but is that you in there? Have you turned your focus to yourself, or what's the kind of starting point for a work like that?
Yeah, well, to be honest, most of my work beforehand was based on things that are quite active. So when I used to go on the London Underground quite a lot, it was all this busyness. And even I'm here now at Southgate School because I've made a little nest of my own little studio there. But I found inspiration of just some of the students, just all this kind of busyness happening in all these places. But during the lockdown, I wasn't too sure what I could focus on. I always enjoy this kind of motion, or this the busyness that catches my eye. So when looking at in lockdown, I just wasn't sure what to do, what's interesting me. So I ended up just looking in the mirror, not in a like selfish way, but that's what I found interesting, trying to re-observe myself and what I do as a routine.
Yeah.
And this
Which
routine,
of course we were all doing, because suddenly we didn't have our normal routine that was so important, well, for you know, for a lot of people. And they're quite comical, you know, particularly this one. It's kind of got quite a you know, it's kind of got a humor underneath it as well, which of course it has this serious message, but there is a humor which I think is what's quite striking about it, is that actually probably everyone can go, oh yeah, that was me, you know, April last year. I was definitely sort of like binge watching something and, you know, not getting off my computer or whatever, and just lazing about. So I think it's really struck a nerve.
I think that was the thing that I quite enjoyed about them, was it was finding a sense of humor in such a dark time, to be honest, because there's so much that you can kind of keep looking at the news and all you'd see is, in a not nice ways, you just see a death counter.
Yeah.
And you just hear sirens coming from the windows. And then I just didn't want to have a negative mindset during the time. So finding simple things of me being a slob on a bed with a few beer cans and my shoes on the floor, it just lightened the mood a bit more than to get through it.
Well, it really is a wonderful piece. So
Thank you.
When you dropped the work off, you were telling me a bit about the kind of the layering of the printmaking. So can you give us a bit of an idea of what the actual process was in making the work?
Actually, I have it here. That's okay. I can show you. Would
Yeah,
that help?
please do.
I have these were on plywood, but it starts off with just as the I'm not sure if you can really see it, to be honest.
Oh yeah, you can see it a bit when the shadows are, or when the light is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
But it's just that first initial drawing of the black outlines.
And had you sketched that your first, or did you go straight onto the plywood with this one?
With this one, because I didn't really know what I was doing, to be honest. I drew straight on it.
Oh, fantastic.
And then found out later that, well, I forgot that it turns backwards, turns reverse.
Yeah.
But that was just the fun of it. It doesn't really matter. It's just exploring what woodcut is at the moment, or printing in general. And then from this first layer, I did try to explore if I could put like a different color. So this was the second just base layer of things I wanted to highlight, like the shoes or my sketchbook.
Yes, of course, yeah.
And even I tried one without all the other little bits that were highlighted, and just realized I prefer it.
Yes, I can see where the shoes and those things are, and so that's what's come across as a different color actually on the final print. There's two tones to it, isn't there? So
yeah,
how lovely.
And then there's just the final little statement at the bottom.
How do you remember that needs to go backwards?
Yeah, I had to draw it out first and then retrace it on tracing paper and then flip it and then try transfer it and then hope for the best. Yes.
No, I'm sure it was a very sort of complex process, and it's lovely to know that that this is sort of some of the first woodcuts that you've done. So do you think that this is something that you will go on to do more? Has it ignited a passion for woodcuts?
I really hope so. It's to be honest, I do need a break away from it, because it's been such an intense period throughout lockdown of just, that was all I was doing. And I did build a bit of it's like, I don't need to do it anymore because it was too intense, but I really want to.
Yeah.
But soon enough,
so
I'll hopefully get back into it.
What are you working on now then? When you're not doing woodcuts, what are you doing?
At this current moment in time, I'm working on an animation, because I've used to do a bit of animation beforehand, but I've got an opportunity to make a music video for a band called Carmen Field, which is a heavy grunge band with female vocalists. So amazing. That's something new.
Yeah.
And that's just been intensive. Lots of frame by frame drawing.
Yes. Well, it sounds like it would be, yes, a lot of work.
And it's all going to be hand drawn, so we'll see how that will go on.
So was drawing always part of your practice? Because I know that you were at the Royal Drawing School. You did the drawing year a few years ago. Was that something that you kind of really pushed when you were doing that, or was it always an important part of your work?
I think because like before that, I went to Falmouth University where I did a BA in drawing, and that's why I started to find just the continuous more drawing. But I started to find that I really enjoyed animation, and well, it's the whole idea of motion. I think that's what kind of led everything all together. And then at the drawing school, just decided to try focus on animation a bit more, but also then try to lead into how I could make work just to be how to explain, just to be work that stands alone by itself without it being digital, or so yeah, just printmaking or just drawings in general.
Yes.
But yeah, just trying to explore different practices really that all lead into one.
Well, they're so wonderful, and I guess this thought that you've been trying to you've always captured movement, and then suddenly the movement around you is kind of gone. You're not going anywhere in the same way. So I can see that it certainly is reflected in these coronavirus works that you've done.
Oh,
so what's next for you then? Last question.
What's next? I don't really know, to be honest. I think it's seeing how, because I think that's the main thing with my work, is it relates to what's just happening at that moment in time, and I don't really know what's happening now with everything starting to unlock. Well, yeah, with lockdown finishing.
Yeah.
So I think we'll see with what happens with that. Might record that.
Yes.
Or draw, or make woodcuts, or.
Well, I think certainly, judging from sort of some of the movements that have been going on in the cities and stuff yesterday and this week, is I don't think anyone's holding back on going out and about. I will admit I was down in a beer garden yesterday, really enjoyed it in the sun. I was I'm there.
I'm booked for 3:30 today.
Yes. Oh no wonder you were like, right, let's get this interview done and then we can get to the point. Well, no, it's really lovely to speak to you and enjoy your pint when you can have it. I have to say, it was very, very enjoyable. So
was it much needed? I think we all in need of it.
Yeah. Lovely.
Oh, and can you tell thank you to the judges as well?
Yeah, of course. Well, you will be able to thank them on Thursday.
Nice. Lovely.
Have a lovely day. Enjoy the pub.
I will.
Care. Bye.
See you later.
Bye.